and welcome to American Printer TV. I'm Tamara Forlansky.
And I'm John Hamilton. Thanks for joining us today. Of course, we have the latest industry news you need.
There have been a lot of big announcements over the past few days, and we'll give you a rundown of some of the new offerings and acquisitions.
Here's what else is on tap.
GASC announces the 15th Annual Executive Outlook Conference.
Metzgers Printing and Mailing acquires Quality Graphics.
And the top tweetable truths about magazines. The largest privately held printer in the United States, Quad Graphics Inc., plans to acquire Montreal-based World Color, the second largest provider of print, digital, and related services in the Americas. Quad Graphics expects the merger to increase efficiencies and broaden its geographic reach. The combined company will have nearly 30,000 employees around the world. The transaction is expected to close this summer, and you could read the full story here at americanprinter.com/news/syndicate.
SAPI is calling for entries in its North American Printer of the Year Awards for 2010, a competition recognizing print excellence and innovation for work produced on SAPI papers. Up for grabs, $20,000 in design support of marketing initiatives for each category, a shot at the SAPI International Printers of the Year Awards, and placement in SAPI's upcoming searchable online database for designers, print buyers, and corporations. You better move fast. Entries must be received by February 12th. Full details can be found on the website below.
EFI CEO Guy Gecht has waved goodbye to the print driver. The company is launching Fiery View, an innovative print application making publishing of professional-looking finished documents fast and simple for all office workers. Here's Toby Weiss, Senior VP and General Manager of the Fiery Division.
So users can see exactly the pages, how they're going to be laid out on the screen, front and back, where there's going to be hole punch, where there's going to be binding, so on and so forth, so they can literally, visually script their document layout and their production all before it goes to the printer without any training necessary.
The documents are then sent to a Fiery-driven printer. This is quite the breakthrough, and maybe best of all, Fiery View is free to all EFI Fiery customers. For more information, visit www.efi.com/FieryView.
Toledo, Ohio-based Metzgers Printing and Mailing has purchased select assets of another Ohio printer, Quality Graphics. Metzgers will retain Quality Graphics president Glenn Miller from consulting services, and Miller's son Aaron will ensure a smooth transition, providing customer service and support to all current Quality Graphics customers. Quality Graphics sales rep Tammy Rashia also will stay on. Meanwhile, Steve Miller will pursue other business interests outside of the industry.
The 15th Annual Executive Outlook Conference will be held Saturday, October 2nd, 2010, the day before Graph Expo, being held once again at Chicago's McCormick Place. Executive Outlook provides economic and marketing information, technological reports, and print trends, and forecasts designed to help visitors get the most from the event. The theme this year is The Challenge of Change in the New Era of Print, offering practical information on using technology to gain a competitive advantage in a recovering economy. The winners of the new Positively Print program, designed to promote the power of print in the media mix, will also be announced, and be sure to catch the Graph Expo must-see-ums.
In our popular 100 Words or Less series, NAPL senior economist Joseph V. Vincenzino offers advice to printers on how to strive for growth in 2010. He says, as recovery takes hold, the first order of business is to remain vigilant against complacency arising from relief that we made it through the downturn. Recessions lead to market redistribution, which is magnified by structural changes that are redefining our industry. Growth won't be found in the same areas as before. To come out on the right side of redistribution, all printing companies need to ask, is our value proposition still viable? How can we move away from commoditization and become more valuable to our clients? Executing effectively on your findings is as important as asking relevant questions. 101 Words or Less can be found in the January issue of American Printer or on this website. But before you go looking for it, check out this week's Columnist Corner with Steve Johnson.
I'm Steve Johnson, American Printer columnist and digital printer. And I've been looking at the IKEA catalog. A lot of people have been looking at this. This is one of the last catalogs of mass market retailers to be produced. And this year, these skunks printed it without their flagship typeface Futura. Instead, they use Microsoft's Verdana. Terrible. The font freaks are very upset. But amazingly enough, They're not just yelling in the blogosphere, but in the mainstream press. Time magazine, the Wall Street Journal, and such exciting magazines and publications as the Chicago Tribune and the New York Times have also written about this font face substitution. Poor old Futura is gone, and Microsoft's ugly and browser-intended font is what they've used instead. Now, does any of this matter? Well, it matters that the press has noticed us, and I think it's actually a good thing because Verdana is a wider font than Futura, which means more catalog pages and thicker catalogs. Hooray for Swedish meatballs.
As we all know from American Printers' recent web offset study, 2010 will be another challenging year for web offset printers.
The Magazine Printers Association of America did a little research of their own that also revealed some telling statistics. The MPA's 20 tweetable truths is just another example on how social media like Twitter is being used to share valuable industry information.
Now here are the 5 MPA's tweetable truths about magazines.
Magazine readership remains steady in an increasingly crowded and noisy media landscape.
And 92% of U.S. adults read magazines.
I guess that's us. Yeah. Magazine readers pay attention to magazine ads. They don't pay to avoid the advertising as they do with other media.
Consumers spend more than $86 million each week on single-copy magazines.
And who says iPod-dependent teenagers have abandoned the magazine? 75% of teens read them.
Wow. You can find the rest of this top 20 list at the website below.
So do you tweet, John?
No, you're talking to a guy who has a rotary cell phone.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not really on that craze yet.
Well, you know, American Printer is on Twitter and even Facebook.
Interesting. I might have to check that out. We'll see you next time.